17-27 for just $173 for Tua, a touchdown and 2 INTs, including that costly one at the end. And this is a Miami team that throughout the season led in the division. Throughout this game, led as well, but come from behind in both accounts. The Buffalo Bills, AFC East champs yet again. In studio, Joe Musso alongside the two-time champ Bryant McFadden. B-Mac, this was anything but straightforward in those final moments. Yep. The Bills elect to go for it on 4th down. They do not get it. They give one of the most high-powered offenses in the game a chance to come down and tie the game. The interception by Tua. How do you digest those last 2 or so minutes of that ball game?
Well, I think what we saw the last 2 minutes of the ball game, especially for the offensive guys from Miami, was what we saw in the entire second half. The adjustments that we saw from Sean McDermott in the Buffalo Bills defense in the second half was well documented. They played better football. They tackled better. They neutralized and slowed down the ground and pound attack from the Miami Dolphins that led to the opportunity that they currently sits in winning this ball game. And Tua Tagovailoa wasn't really on it. We saw spotty situations, seeing the football field not as clear, not accurate passes. From start to finish, we didn't really see the Tua Tagovailoa that we've witnessed when this offense was scoring almost 30 points per ball game. Now, of course, he was short-handed when you talk about his personnel. No Raheem Mostert, no Jalen Waddle, but yet and still you were put in positions to find a way to win this ball game, and untimely turnovers led to an opportunity for the Buffalo Bills to do what they were able to do, which is win this ball game. That last drive, you got to see the football field better. Tyreek Hill was on the sideline. You had to throw to others. He was trying to target Chase Claypool. I think that might have been his only target, but you got to see route better. He had vision, he had depth to be able to break on that corner, 7 cut, and came up with a huge game-winning interception.
And it seals fates. We now know the teams. We now know the seeds. We now know the matchups. Buffalo, from where they were, slim chances to make the playoffs, to your 2 seed in the AFC. They will welcome your Pittsburgh Steelers. Kansas City going to play host to Miami, the 6 seed, following this result. We'll get to the playoff pictures here in a bit, but we do have to focus on what we just saw between these 2 teams. It was Josh Allen distilled. It was Josh Allen personified. The giveaways, the playmaking ability, all in one place with the season on the line. What did you make of Allen's performance tonight?
Josh Allen, he plays that sibling football. You know, 1 minute you love your sibling, the next minute you can't stand them. That's who he is. That's who he's been the entire season. You know, giving us sibling-like production. Oh, I can't stand you. What are you doing? Oh, I love you. You know what I mean? And you got to understand, you got to take the bad with the good with Josh Allen, because he's going to give you a little bit of both. And he was fortunate enough to know and to realize that his defense was going to bail him out. And that's the issue that you got to have if you're a Miami Dolphin fan. I mean, we saw 3 turnovers from Josh Allen, right? 2 interceptions, 1 fumble. And all with his eyes on the end zone. Yes. All those turnovers happen in the red area. An opportunity, worst case scenario, to put points on the scoreboard via field goal. But his defense, I mean, put him in position to be able to right his wrongs. So Josh Allen is super talented. And you don't question the talent. You don't question the physical skill set attributes. You question the mental element, the above-the-shoulder game. That has been the issue with Josh Allen, and why I say he played what I call sibling football. You got to love him, and you're going to hate him.
Well, he put his arms around his guys, and in certain moments of this game, did exactly what his team needed to. Gets the sticks on that one play that there was a holding, would have been a 1st down anyway, but seemingly can put the game and the team on his shoulders in a way that other guys cannot in certain moments. I want to get back to Tua here, because it's $173 through the air. That is a season low for passing for Tagovailoa, with his team needing this win. It's a Miami team that led the division by 3 games not too long ago, and here you are sliding back to a 6 seed, heading into Arrowhead, one of the tougher places to play in football. It's all really turned on its head, and some of that, yes, has been from injury. But how do you assess who Tua was in this moment? Big interception late. Are we allowed to question Tua coming out of this, or was it just stacked against him with all the injuries that Miami was dealing with?
I think you should be allowed to question Tua Tagovailoa, and an opportunity to win the division, an opportunity to have a home game in the 1st round of the playoffs, and you didn't put forth your best effort. I mean, we saw a weekend of NFL play, ball, where a guy like C.J. Stroud lived up to the billing. We saw a weekend where we saw a guy like Mason Rudolph live up to the billing. You know, so you talk about other quarterbacks that were able to seize the opportunity, the moment.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. I mean, you would think Tua would be able to do so. And I didn't expect to see an explosion of points coming from the offense like we've seen in weeks past because he was shorthanded. But these are moments where you got to find a way to win ball games. You have to. And your defense, in that last opportunity, got to turnover on downs. You know you don't have any timeouts. You have to protect the football, and you have to find a way to get it done. He came up short. And we didn't really hear this associated with Tua Tagovailoa this year because this offense was so prolific about the highs and the lows. We witnessed more highs than lows with him, but this ball game, we saw more lows. Now, this is a reason to be concerned going into postseason play because you're going into Arrowhead, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. The luxury the Miami Dolphins have is that Kansas City, the Chiefs team that we watched this year is not the same that we've seen in years past. Yeah. But yet and still, you have to believe the experience is huge and in their favor. So I'm not saying the Miami Dolphins lost this ball game because of Tua Tagovailoa, but one would want to see more from Tua in a moment where you're playing against a quarterback in Josh Allen that had 3 turnovers. Yeah. Himself.
The loss is not on his shoulders, but it was going to take Tua to win this game for his team with all of those injuries. KC and Miami, they have seen each other already. That was abroad in Frankfurt. Yep. That was Tyreek in those moments against his ex-team. He's going to go back into that building that he had so many moments in the postseason in. It's going to be a whole lot of fun and another storyline to watch for come playoff time. But this is just the 4th time in NFL history that a team 3 or more games back with just 5 games to play went on to win the division. Yep. What we just saw from the Buffalo Bills doesn't happen barely ever. The Jags, yes, did do it last year, but that's just one of 4 instances where this has occurred. How does Miami rally from a moment like this? You had the world on a string. Yeah. You're the most high-powered offense in the league, a defense to complement it. Now all of those things are coming into question into a tough matchup postseason.
Yo, Joe, that sounds like Philadelphia also, you know, when it had a nice lead on your division foe and then finding a way to squander it down the drain. I think the best thing for Miami is, number one, to try to get as healthy as possible, right? And just kind of get back to being the team that you once was in the month of September and October offensively. A little more creativity offensively, I would like to see. I mean, we look at how they ran the football in the first half of this ball game. We saw the same running, same plays being called. And one would think you would see a different defensive front alignment attacking from Buffalo, and we did. We didn't see any adjusting from Mike McDaniels. You talked about this game. I think, Joe, if I'm not mistaken, they had like 100 yards rushing at half.
Yeah,
you look at what they
effectively.
Finished. Yeah, they didn't really do anything significantly in the running game in the second half. So you got to find a way to make adjustments. You got to get healthy. You got to get Jalen Waddle back. You got to get Raheem Mostert back. You know, get Tyreek Hill going as well, and just get back to being the explosive offense that you once was. And I think we only saw, what, 1 shot down the football field. When you have the speed that they have, even without Jalen Waddle on the football field, you got to make Buffalo respect the speed element. Take shots down the football field just to kind of open things up. And that's what we witnessed from Miami in the first month and a half of the season, was a team that was taking aggressive shots down the football field. Get back to playing that type of football.
It's going to be a blast to watch all these playoff games play out. We will get you up to speed on all those matchups in a moment, but a final thought here I think needed on Buffalo. 3rd time in the last 4 years, the Bills will represent the 2 seed in the AFC. What do they have to do to ensure a different outcome than those shortcomings we've seen in those last instances?
Sometimes with Buffalo, their worst enemy is their quarterback. Plain and simple. He's too good of a player to have so many mental miscues. And it's not about Josh trying to do so much. I just think he believes he can do so much. That's the issue. And it's okay to say, you know what, I don't mind punting the football. But I think he believes in his ability, which is cool. You have to be confident in who you are as a player, quarterback, your skill set, your strength, your arms, your accuracy. But at some point in time, you got to take and understand and humble yourself and say, you know what, I'm not going to force it. I think tonight he was almost their worst enemy. Teetering. Teetering, right? When you talk about the untimely turnovers in the red zone, that will cause you to lose a ball game. Ball games. For him to have as many turnovers as he's had this season, but to lead the league in total touchdowns. Sibling football. You hate your sibling one day, you love your sibling the next day. That's how Buffalo, the fan base, feel about Josh Allen. They went through moments where, ooh, Josh! Josh! Sibling football. Hashtag BMAC. Thank you.
I'm just saying, if that's my sibling, I'm not getting any wrestling matches with Josh Allen.
Oh, no.
They love him in this moment because he did it again.
You don't wrestle. You got to hit and run.
An AFC East champion, the man Josh Allen coming through big for his team in this moment. We'll see come playoff time if he can keep it on the rails for those Buffalo Bills. All right, here it is in ink. 73-08 last year and this. Winning a division 3 or more games back with 5 or fewer to play. The Bills, they take care of business, and they are your AFC East champions. More coming straight ahead on HQ. Full highlights from this pseudo-title game between two teams with deep designs come playoff time. Stick around. More coming next on HQ.